On this segment of Zenic Endorsed Gear, I'm going to talk to you about a product that definitely is way outside of the box. It's another product from Trophy Taker, and it's called the Quivalizer. The name probably speaks for itself, but when Dan came up with a concept for the Quivalizer and described to me what he was going to do, I thought he was crazy, to be perfectly honest. But I also know that he's one of the best shots I've ever met in my life, and is always thinking about accuracy while blending it with huntability. So I thought, I'm going to give it a shot. I built myself a homemade version similar to the homemade version that Dan had when he started. I shot so well with it that I could not help but have to hunt with it that fall, even though what I'm going to show you today isn't anything like that, because it was not detachable quickly from the bow. It was permanently attached. Everything was hooked with fasteners, and it was kind of a pain in many scenarios just because of that, especially carrying it in my backpack and other things like that. But the way that he has it designed now, it's something that it's kind of a must-have on my bow. I have always shot way better with a long stabilizer, as does anybody. If you go to any of the top 3D shoots or indoor professional shoots, you'll notice stabilization coming out of every corner of the bows on that line, and long stabilizers are definitely the rule. And just to help you understand why that helps, to be honest, stabilization more than anything else slows down movement. It's not that it stops movement. Nothing completely stops you when you come to full draw, even with a Quivalizer on and in the stabilizer position. You're still going to move, but you're going to move way slower, and it's going to make it way easier on your brain to be able to relax at full draw and focus on the good mechanics of making a good shot, as opposed to struggling with performance anxiety or target panic or whatever you want to call it. So for me, the Quivalizer is a game changer on my archery. Right now I have it mounted in the upright position, transport position. Quite frankly, it's completely adequate for a hunting position as is. It's even more adjustable than the average one-piece quiver is. It's adjustable over the length of the tube. It's adjustable, it pivots this way, so you can kind of rotate your arrows and everything in as close to your string as you possibly can get it. It's ambidextrous. You can actually just flip this bracket over right here, and it becomes a left-handed version of the quiver or Quivalizer, so that's nice and handy. It's adjustable this way. It rotates back and forth on some elongated holes right there to get it squared up on your bow the way that you like. In essence, it has all the adjustability and more that a normal one-piece quiver would have. So a lot of people just like to shoot it just like this, but if you've got enough time or the right kind of conditions, there's a couple little quick release levers that you can kick this thing out. It comes with the socket that attaches permanently to your bow there, and in a couple seconds you have it in the what I call the hunt mode. And I really like hunting with a longer stabilizer. I usually use a long stabilizer anyway, because again, to me the most important thing is to make a good shot. The Quivalizer does a couple things here. A, it is obviously a long stabilizer, but B, the weight is on the wrong side of the bow anytime you add weight to this side, because the riser, again, I'm on a right-handed bow here, it's just the opposite for left-handed, but the concept's the same. Basically, the riser already has more weight over here anyway. You've mounted your accessories over here because you have to by default. So your bow already is going to have a tendency to, it's going to be heavy to that side. So adding extra quiver weight to that side makes it even worse. So that's part of the reason why when Dan designed this, now you don't have to live with this, you can actually leave the arrows over on this side too. Again, you can flip this bracket and have the arrows on the off side of the bow. But part of the beauty of this is to create good balance. So by bringing the arrows to this side of the bow, you create a perfect left and right balance as well. And you can even index this a little bit like a V-bar and actually kind of mark it and have it lock in to a certain, a particular perfect balance point if you're so inclined. One of my bows I did that with. Most of the rest of my hunting bows, I find that they balance just perfect with the Quivalizer arrows basically straight up and down. So again, it just takes a couple of seconds to switch it back to the other position, and anytime I'm in a situation, whether it's brushy or whatever, and I don't want the Quivalizer hanging out there, I can be off and rolling like a normal quiver. But if I have time and so inclined to be able to get this thing set up to where it helps me be a better shot in the field, it's a game changer for me. One of the concerns that we get with the Quivalizer is how do you transport it, how do you carry it in the field, is it in the way, that kind of thing. So I thought I'd just take a quick second here and kind of show you some of the ways that I carry it. I actually prefer having it on there. Again, as I've already shared, I've always shot a little bit of a long stabilizer out front anyway, so I'm kind of used to that, but I probably find myself carrying the bow this way 80% of the time, and as you can see, it's real comfortable. I fit in here just like I would if I was shooting a regular stabilizer, but I actually can even kind of rest my hand out here, sits on top of my backpack, and I carry it really comfortable this way. I can even turn loose of it and glass and dink around quite a bit, and it balances real nice on my shoulders. So that's one of the main ways that I carry it, but I also carry it like this a lot. Again, I've always carried my stabilizer fairly long, and so it's always kind of hit me on the forearm. Now it kind of hits me in the back of the arm, but I can hike all day like this. And then I'll also periodically, especially if I'm stalking with an arrow on, I'll actually kind of hook my thumb through here if I'm sneaking. That way it keeps everything back behind me and in line with the Quivalizer. So like I said, I don't notice that it causes any extra inconvenience. In fact, to be perfectly honest, I think it actually makes the carrying a little bit easier for me personally. So I don't think you'll notice it to be inconvenient, and like I said, if you do, you can quickly pop it back up into the transport mode and back into hunt mode when the time comes. So thanks a lot, and if you have any questions, feel free to get in touch.